as for my little tune that I've done to this... Yo! What? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a new video on the channel. Welcome to the GMC Typhoon. Now, of course, last week I ended up checking out the GMC Cyclone, which I absolutely love. I'm pretty sure these both just share the same platform. As you can see, the only thing that's changed is kind of like just the cab itself. This is more like a weird van slash SUV versus this being a pickup. Anyway, I'm pretty sure, like I said, they share the same platform and they share many things together. So I'm not going to be building this thing for drifting, which is what I did with the GMC Cyclone, which I absolutely love, by the way. The Cyclone is fantastic to try and slide around with. It was just very good. Now, the Typhoon, I'm going to try and build for, like I said, something different. And by that, I mean racing. I want to try and race this thing. Because I've said in previous videos way back when that I love the GMC Cyclone. And I used it even in the Forza Motorsport games. Where I ended up... Oh, the split tailgate is sick. That is very cool. It's not a van. It's more like a weird like shooting brake, isn't it? There's like seats in the back, but it's like still a 2-door. That's weird, or whatever, 3-door. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, like I said, I use the Cyclone even for racing in like the Forza Motorsport games, and I absolutely adore that. It was very cool. Just overall a very sick car for drifting, for racing, whatever. It was just a very cool car. So what I thought in this video is, since like I said, they kind of share the same platform, both this and the... One second, let me have a look, see if they actually do. What's different between this Typhoon and the Cyclone itself? The only way I can do that is if I go off into GMC, go to this, change over to it, and completely get rid of the tune that's on this thing. It's just a basic drift setup on it. There's nothing crazy on it. 280 and 1639 in the kilos. It is very similar, though. It is very similar, if not almost completely identical. This is slightly heavier, as you can see, 1724 kg, but it does make the same power, so the powertrain is still there, and I'm guessing the wheels and the tires and everything are all still there. So pretty much very similar. Like I said, I want to take this thing out for racing. I want to race this thing. I want to see what it's like. I'm not going to take it out online racing because I've done it recently. And yeah, it just isn't going well. Like, everybody's just ass online. I hate driving online against other people. I just despise it so much. I'm gonna bring this thing to, let's say, the top of A class. The top of A class is always sick. I love driving stuff at the top of A class. It's just always a good time. You don't need a stupid amount of power. You just need a lot of grip, and it's just fun. I mean, it depends on what track you're driving on, but like most of the time, you just need a lot of grip, and you should be doing just fine. I kind of like some work wheels on this thing. That's why I immediately went to them. Down here, something 5-spoke looks good. I like the wheels that are already on it. It's like so cool and like period correct, but I think maybe some work wheels would suit this thing quite a lot. Something like these emotions. I really like these. I really do. All right, cool. I'm gonna leave those alone for now. As for aero, unfortunately, everybody, I will have to put the disgusting Forza aero on it. It is literally just for aero. Like, I'm actually going to end up using it as aero. Race transmission, we'll slap that on. No budget limitations here, but I do still want to obviously keep this thing in A class. So I want to give it some better brakes and stuff like that. I will, like I said, adjust a bunch of things and probably end up changing a couple things on this thing that I don't need. Weight, we can bring the weight down quite a lot on this thing. ARBs, you can change these. It should be fine. I'm not going to put a cage in it. And now, kind of a little bit more power. What's the engine sound like? Or what's the exhaust sound like? This is definitely a shared sound. I think I've said this as well with the Cyclone. I'm pretty sure this is a shared sound with other cars. Keeping this thing rear-wheel drive, though, and doing all this stuff to it, kind of an interesting concept. I'm trying to see if I can squeeze out just as much power. There we go. I bring this thing just to the top of A class. So this is pretty much what we're working with. 418 horsepower, weighs 1,300 kilos. Actually, it's not too bad. Actually, not terrible. I don't want to go anything crazy. Like I said, I want to keep this thing maybe in A class and try and race it like this. Alright, I'm gonna slap a quick little tune together. Just something nice, something easy to control and whatever. And I'll take it out racing. I don't know why I thought that this was rear-wheel drive. Maybe because I was driving around in the Cyclone, that's rear-wheel drive. And I can't remember, did I rear-wheel drive swap that thing? I don't really remember. Anyway, I brought it to Vulcan Sprint because it's all-wheel drive. It can push itself up the hill pretty easy. It's got good enough power. It handles corners really well. Kind of a little oversteery, but you'll see exactly what I'm talking about when I'm driving this thing up this hill here. It feels nice. It feels natural. See? Look at all the grip it has. It is incredibly impressive how good this thing is going uphill. Or just in general, handling wise, it is great. As for my little tune that I've done to this, yo, what? I've never had that happen before. Not once have I ever had this thing have a car have so much grip that I clip one of those little rocks and it flips me over. Bro, what the hell? Alright, we go again. We go again, we go again, we go again. This thing has so much grip. And I guess that goes to show as well how much grip this thing actually has. It literally flipped itself over. I have had instances where like trucks and stuff, like big vans and whatever, and off-roaders like flip themselves over, but not regular cars. Like this is lowered. It's got race suspension on it, you know? I can't... there you go. It basically goes to show how much grip this thing actually has around corners. For its sheer size, that it would literally flip over if it goes slightly unbalanced. If something throws it off, it immediately flips over. What can we change on this car to make it better? What to think now? Maybe give it slightly more power. If there was a way to slap a little bit more power into this thing, I think it would be a little bit better. I thought, like I said, also, I don't remember, I don't know why I thought that this was like rear-wheel drive. Because about 400 horsepower and rear-wheel drive is actually very good. It's still insanely manageable and it'll still drive really well. But right now, this is all-wheel drive. Really, really good. I actually don't think we need to have the race tires on this thing. So maybe if we could downgrade the tires slightly. I don't know, man, because the amount of grip that this has during like really like tight corners, you can go so fast in them. It just does such a good job. I really want to see where I am in the world with this thing. But surely, right, there's meta cars for this sort of stuff. But in A-Class, I love building A-Class stuff due to the fact that it's just so... There's like so many cars and so many things. There's not like... There probably is like one or two like crazy cars that you just have to use, but like... Stuff in like B-Class, very obvious what the meta cars are, you know, C-Class and stuff like that. Meta cars, we already know what they are. S1 even, we know what they are. But I feel like there's a lot more, I guess, competitors, right, to being the best A-Class race car in this game. There's just so many of them for a bunch of different types of tracks and a bunch of different events, you know. S1 is the Viper, like, you can't, like, it's undoubtedly the Viper. Like, everybody knows that it's the Viper, the Anniversary Edition Viper. Like, they just made that thing way too OP in S1. It's faster than a lot of S2 cars, you know? Brakes are really good on this thing, though, as well. Yeah, I think the only thing that's lacking with this car right now is the power. I mean, if it had more power, it'll probably jump up into S1, but... I'm trying to think, maybe if we can reduce something. Maybe give it worse brakes or something like that. I don't know. We're 3 minutes at 4 seconds with this thing. I kind of want to change a couple things on it just to see if we can get it to go a little bit quicker. Because again, we are taking this thing uphill, but it is A-Class, you know, so I can't really say much about it, but... Okay. Let's see where I am in the world with this and try to see if I can improve on it. I want to try at least get sub 3 minutes, you know? Okay, let's have a quick look at where we are in the world on that event. Just for a laugh. Vulcan Sprint. There it is. A-class. This is the first A-class run that I've ever done on this track. Okay. We're 10,000. That's fine. That is fine. What's around me here? Lotus Elise, Nissan GTR, R34, 911 GT3, Bone Shaker. Yeah, Bone Shaker I would have definitely expected to be up there. What do we have here? SDI S209. Yeah, I think I built one of these things, right? And it ended up driving really well. I mean, look how much I jump just from being like, what, 11 seconds, 12 seconds faster? Like, 12 seconds faster brings me really high up. I just need more power, I think. More power and less everything else. I feel like I can go around corners a little bit slower if I just have a bit more power. So let's change this thing slightly and see what I can do. See if I can improve it, especially for the Vulcan Sprint anyway. Alright, well, I LS swapped it right now, so it makes a bit more power. It adds a tiny bit of weight. I got rid of the brakes and I downgraded the brakes a little bit, and I also downgraded the front tire width a little bit as well. But I ended up increasing its torque by like 100 newton meters almost, I think, if I remember correctly. It was around like 530, 540 newton meters of torque, so a lot more torque, a bit more power. It has got a tiny bit more weight, but not by much, maybe like 20 kilos, 30 kilos or something like that. But this is a much torquier engine, much torquier. So I feel like it should be good for like coming out of corners and stuff like that. I feel like this should be a much better car. However, though, I don't think I can take corners as quickly due to the fact that my tires on the front end are a little bit worse. The tires on the rear are still the same, because if I downgrade those, they'll end up being worse. But yeah, the tires, I can tell they're a little worse. But the torque is mad. Much better. Much, much better. Much better than before. I don't have to worry about what gear I'm in or anything. This thing just has torque everywhere. I should probably still work like a little tune for this thing, so I can get like a little workaround due to the fact that the front end has a little less grip. Oh man, the pull out of corners is different. See, the guy that's behind me now, that ghost, is basically the ghost that was given to my old run, basically the run that I've done, and it was supposed to be faster than my old run. Does that make sense? Oh, I missed a checkpoint. I'm trying to go as tight as possible, but I kind of missed a checkpoint. So the ghost for this run is basically supposed to be faster than the previous run that I've just done. And I am, like, running away from him. It's like not even close. It is still slightly rear biased with the torque distribution, and it feels nice to drive. It's clean, man. It drives really nicely. Trying to flip it over. I feel like the more I drive this thing, the easier it gets. But I think the change to this engine is so much better. I feel like the engine that was in it before, that inline 6 or V6 or whatever it was that was in it before, it's kind of shit, I'm not gonna lie. I think I left the standard engine in the Cyclone, but the LS is just very much superior. I am running away from that guy. It's not even close. And this is just a little bit of extra torque. I told you guys, the only thing that this thing actually needed was a little bit more power, and that was it. And look at it now. Yeah, I think around corners, that car actually catches up to me slightly. Just slightly. But you can see that I'm leaving him for dust. Every time it comes to like coming out of corners and that, I'm just gone. These long corners I'm fine as well. I don't need any more extra grip. I just have significantly more power. And I'm just getting away. I am just getting away. Yeah, it's just a few corners that this guy catches up on me. I can see him slightly close the gap. Like I said, as soon as we get out of corners, I'm gone. This should be significantly faster than before. I definitely want a sub 3 minutes, and this is definitely going to be sub 3 minutes. Very much a sub 3 minute run. Very, very much. Jesus. And it doesn't slip as well, like flooring it out of corners, because the rear tires are still so wide. So I don't have to worry about that issue. Oh my god, it's actually not going to be sub 3 minutes! 3:01! Oh my god, I'm 3 seconds faster, but just it's still not enough. Oh my god. I thought it was going to be sub 3 minutes. I honestly thought I could do a sub 3 minute run. I'll try again. Oh, I'm quicker. Oh, I'm quicker. I took it a little bit too seriously, though. Oh, we got it. Sub 3. I took it a little bit more seriously than what I think I should have. Like, I got rid of my transmission, I changed my wheel size, I gave it slightly more power, added a bit more weight. It's just a whole... Look, see, even my wheels, I pulled back to stock again. I took it a little bit more seriously than I should have. But I did get the sub 3 minutes. I really hate this gearbox, though. I changed to the standard gearbox as well, just so we can have it so it drops my class a lot more. Especially with the LS, because the LS has a lot of torque anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. You know, I can just kind of work around that. I hate it. I hate the stock transmission. It's so bad. But, yeah, we managed to get the sub 3 minutes. That's what I wanted. That's the only thing I wanted here. Was to try and race this thing and try and see if we can do sub 3 minutes on the Vulcan Sprint with it. I mean, it's cool, right? There's gonna be many, many faster cars in this thing. It's nothing like crazy, but I just wanted to try out the new GMC. Because like I said, I used to love racing its brother, the Cyclone, a lot back in the day. But yeah, here it is. 4,200 in the world. Can we get this thing to be faster? Yeah, probably. There's probably a better configuration for this guy to get it to be even faster than what I'm building here or what I built here. That's so weird. DJ Lime. What? What are the chances he's like 2 spots above me? He did it in an F450. That's sick, though. He's 2 spots above me. That's crazy. Alright, fair enough. Well, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video on the GMC Typhoon. Again, like this is basically a car that shares a lot of its components, I guess. The platform itself is pretty much the same as the Cyclone, so it's not really that special since we've driven the Cyclone already. But it is quite fun as a race car. I think downhill will probably be better than uphill, but I'm not going to be taking it down on the Golden Toga. You guys can do that yourselves and test it out if you really want to. But yeah, I think braking wise and stuff like that, I think you need like better brakes and you need slightly less power going downhill than uphill. Uphill kind of requires you to have the power, you know, and to have that good push out of corners. The one cool thing about it is that I left this thing all-wheel drive, right? I didn't rear-wheel drive swap. I think as a rear-wheel drive it could probably be really good too, but because I left it as an all-wheel drive, its grip out of corners is very, very good. Like, I just push myself out of corners with no issues whatsoever. Like that's the most slip that you'll see, is what I just did there. You know? So it's a really good car for that. But yeah, I like it. I think it's a fun little car to drive. I feel like people are gonna create some interesting builds on this thing, so good luck for your next builds, I guess, with this guy, if you're gonna do anything crazy. But I love it. I love it. It's very cool. Super, super, super cool 90s truck. Very square and everything. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.